All right, let's talk about semen retention 90 days, okay? So, I might have a very different opinion than a lot of other folks, as I've done semen retention a lot longer than 90 days, okay? But I think 90 days is a sweet spot where a lot of people are looking for and everything. And I'll tell you what, okay? If you go up to 90 days, that's a very, very big achievement without watching any adult entertainment, without edging, okay? If you don't know what edging basically means where you're watching things and you're touching yourself, but you're not releasing, right? Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Edging is very detrimental to your psyche. It's very detrimental to your psyche. You do not ever want to watch any type of adult entertainment, okay? So 90 days, here's how it goes, right? For the first week when you start SR, okay, semen retention, you'll start to, after a week, the urges will drop pretty drastically, okay? It does not mean that they'll fully eradicate. There's still going to be urges. Urges will always be there, okay? Regardless of if you're on 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 9 months, or a year, you'll always have urges, okay? But after a week, you'll be like, okay, like your body's going to adjust to what's happening, all right? After 1 week, here's what happens. You start to gain more energy, you start to gain more clarity, you start to gain more confidence, right? Because shame is the lowest vibration. Shame, okay, guilt, anger, these are very low vibrations, but shame is actually the lowest frequency. It's the lowest frequency. So what happens when you're engaged in this type of filth is you're engaged in the lowest frequency. This is why a lot of folks cannot approach people. They cannot approach men. They cannot approach women. They just very shy to actually do that. A lot of that does get eradicated in a week. I wouldn't say, okay, let me correct myself. I wouldn't say a lot, but I would say probably 5 to 10% of that does get eradicated in a week, okay? Because, as I said, shame is the lowest frequency. Once you're out of shame, you're vibrating on a higher level frequency, okay? Once you do that, you're just going to feel much better, okay? That being said, now, the first month, okay? The first month, you're actually reprogramming your subconscious mind. Everything in your subconscious mind is being reprogrammed for your consciousness to actually elevate. You might not experience an actual difference. Like, you might not just gain superpowers and start to levitate, like a lot of these folks think. Like, I'm not going to lie to you and be like, yo, you're going to start levitating, you're going to start attracting everything. No. You're going to, in 1 month, start to subconsciously reprogram your mind. Like, all the filth and everything that's been there for the vast majority of people, you're going to start to reprogram that, okay? Now, once you start to reprogram, once you're done that 1 month, right? Now, you'll feel your presence. Now, what do I mean by that? Only some people know how this feels. When you sit alone, right? And you feel the presence within your body, that's how you start to feel after 1 month. Because this is life force energy. This is energy that you do not want to mess around with. If you transmute this energy, it's a very potent energy. You can start to go to the gym. You can start to write. You can start to actually become an athlete. You can actually start to do a lot of philosophy. You can start to do your business, like, right? Get into different ventures and you will elevate. Like, everything will proliferate fast. Why? Because you are dealing with a lot of potent energy and you're transmuting it, okay? After 1 month, you start to feel good. Okay, now the flatline period. Let's talk about the flatline period. Now, this is very subjective, meaning that it's for each individual to experience, right? Like, some people flatline after a week, some people flatline after like 60 days, some people do it after 90 days. But the flatline period, once it comes in, right? You just have to go through it. It's when you feel drowsy, you feel down, you don't feel like getting up, you're not motivated to do things, like, you still gotta push. This is when you're being tested. This is when you're in like a perpetual type of hurdles. Like you're just keep going back to back, back to back, back to back. You gotta just do it because your energy centered, your energy is stuck somewhere, right? So what that energy is doing is it's requiring you to step up, to elevate, to take it to the next level. So what you've got to do is you got to take it to the next level, right? That's where you've got to start to clean up your food. You've got to, because you can't just be on SR with all this energy and be eating like out every other day. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that because that energy will not feel comfortable within your body. It's going to just release. It's going to leave. So you've got to treat your body properly. You've got to clean your water, clean your food, right? You've got to clean your habits, or if you want to do this. That's what it is. And a lot of people don't talk about this. It intrigues me, where a lot of people talk about going to the gym, a lot of people talk about, like starting your business, but you got to clean your water, drink clean water. There's 80,000 different type of chemicals that are unregulated in our water. You've got to get rid of all those chemicals, and you've got to drink pure water in like stainless steel or glass. That's what you've got to do. Add some salt, add some minerals to it, and you've got pure good water. Okay, now once you've hit that, like above that 1 month mark, you're going to gain a lot of confidence. You're going to gain confidence that you've probably never had before. Why? Because you committed to your word. You're doing something that you've never done before. Your body is thanking you, right? It's proud of you. It's happy that you're doing this. It's thanking you on a deeper level because you're nourishing. Like the semen is starting to move within your body, and it's nourishing the veins. It's nourishing your head. It's nourishing your skin. It's starting to actually get in there. It's starting to nourish your psychological mind. You start to feel better. You start to elevate. Your mind starts to elevate. You start to want to do things naturally. You don't want to sit down and be a bum. That's what's going on, okay? After 2 months, like 2 months to 3 months now, right? Now, in this time, depends on the person, okay? It depends on the person, how you are, what your habits are. If you have garbage habits, I'll tell you, if you're just sitting around and you're like waiting to like you're not serious about this, you're not actually serious about it. And this has to do with identity, which I'm going to actually talk about in one of my videos, God willingly. It has to do with your identity. A lot of people have the wrong identity. They identify themselves as being weak. If your identity is weak, you're just gonna you'll go get on SR for a month or two, but you'll always be looking for that dopamine hit and be like, oh, when do I do it next? Like, you've got to detach yourself from that identity. That's a secret. That's actually the biggest secret. That's the biggest secret, because a lot of folks identify themselves as being that guy who touches himself. If you identify yourself as being that guy that touches himself, then that's what you're going to do your whole entire life. You'll never be able to elevate. You'll never be able to level up, because that's you got to get rid of that identity. You got to erode that identity, and you're going to have affirmations. You're going to have to look in the mirror and be like, I can do this. You got to ask God. You got to literally, this is something you're going to this is battle. It's like, you're not just you're doing something that the vast majority of men cannot do. You think you're just going to do it and you're not going to, there's going to be no metaphysical things. By the way, talking about metaphysical, the succubus spirit too, right? A lot of folks, after you cross that 1 month time, you're going to see a succubus spirit. Most likely, while you're sleeping, you're going to see some sort of spirit trying to sexually arouse you. That's what happens. To the vast majority of guys that I speak to that took this route, a lot of these guys told me the same thing. That's what they've experienced, right? So my point being said right now is, once you're up to that 3 month mark, you're going to gain a lot of confidence. What is confidence? Confidence is not just, oh, like I'm naturally confident type of BS. No. Confidence is when you keep a word with somebody or yourself and you're always putting up with that word. You're back to back with that word. You keep doing what you say you're going to do and you just do it. You just don't care. You just do it. That's what actual real confidence means. Like that's what it is. That's what it is. That being said, guys, like I'm probably going to get into the identity video, right? I'm gonna probably get into that. That's the biggest one. I think that's the biggest month. So I'm on my longest streak right now. I'm on a very, very long streak. And in my upcoming videos, I might actually tell you guys, I don't want to put the energy out into the universe right now, but I might tell some of you guys, I might just tell you guys what my streak is and how long it is. But once I'm very close to hitting that certain mark, and I'll probably be able to just tell you guys what it is, right? The identity video, and I might touch on the succubus. I might touch up on like what happens to a lot of guys when they're sleeping, right? You want to take care of yourself. You want to drink clean water. You want to eat the right foods. You want to focus on starting your own business. Okay, you want to have an endure the way things are going, the way the economy is going. Okay, if you know a special skill, you know a special trade, you do something good for you. Other than that, a lot of folks got to focus on a business, or like you've got to focus on investments. So we'll probably touch up on a lot of things, but my guys, stay on your streak. If you're single, there's no way. If you're married, okay, that's a whole different topic, okay? But if you're a single man and you're trying to better yourself up, take your streak seriously and do not mess around. That being said, I'm off. Take it easy.